Hey YouTube, just wanted to show you my reloading setup. This is set up currently for 10 millimeter. I had a variety of modifications on this press. This is a Pro Chucker 7. Means it's got 7 spaces up the top. You can see that I've got almost all of them full. I'm using a variety of dies. I've got RCBS carbide dies along with the Hornady bullet feeder, RCBS lockout die, and you know the powder system is stock RCBS. The heads interchange on this press, as you can see. There are 3 of these set screws that you loosen up and you change out. You can see I've got one set up there for 45 ACP and one set up for 40 Smith & Wesson. Convenience, 40 Smith & Wesson uses the same bullet feed dies and sizing dies, but just to avoid changing them out and changing the depth, I just went ahead and bought a second set of carbide dies, and they work awesome. So you can see right here, currently I'm loading 10 millimeter with HS6. I'm pressuring out at about 8.5 grains. That puts me, I think, at about 1100 feet per second. So this is a really good loading for 10 millimeter. I've probably loaded 2,000 to 3,000 rounds so far. It's worked awesome. But along the road, I've had a bunch of bumps with this system. These right here are the primer feed slides right here. And you can see that there's a little nodule that rides along this plastic right here, and is snapped off. And this isn't the first time this has happened. You can see I've got a few others back there that have also snapped off that little finger. And you might be able to see it down in there. Yeah, barely. So it's down there. It snaps off. So let me go over some of the modifications I've had to do to this press to make it worthy of loading thousands of rounds. We might as well start right here with the case feed. The normal case feed that they had, it looked like a bent paper clip, and it was complete garbage. So what I came up with is a piece of Teflon, and it's trimmed down here. It's tapered at the nose. See if you can really see that. And the important part is that it fits really closely. So when the case is in, the case won't move back out when it goes up into the sizing die. That's a big problem that I've been having with the paperclip style feeder that they had, is that the case would back out a little bit and it would crash up here. And this prevents that from now, and plus sliding them into spot is so smooth. It's works out really good. So anyway, this press, as I already went over the priming system, it's got its issues, man. I don't know why they went with this plastic primer slide, but it is what it is. At least RCBS could do is sell them in bulk. You know, I'd spend $50 on 100 of those things. You know, that'd probably last me the life of this press. But as far as I know, you can't buy them, and they should be made out of aluminum. Just being honest, aluminum or brass. This is kind of crazy that they keep snapping off. But another thing that you can see, you can barely make it out. I put a couple stainless washers in the slide for that finger that indexes it up and down. I spaced them out so the clearance is within a millimeter of crashing, but that allows that finger to get a maximum amount of real estate to grab onto, and not just the very tip, which I think is part of the problem of why it's breaking. So anyway, the other modification is, you can see down here, this is my primer catch. And it'll hold, I don't know, probably 100 or so primers, you know, and I'll dump them out. And that's actually, it goes right along with the bullet feeder, you know, when I fill that up. You can also see back here on this is the primer feed tube, and I put just a regular barbecue skewer in there. Kind of gives me a visual reference of how many more rounds I can load, just roughly, before I have to stop the whole press, reload all my consumables, and then begin again. So, but anyway, those are the customizations I've done so far. It works pretty smooth. Let's see, I'll show you how it loads up. So go ahead, slide one of these guys in here. First stage, depriming and sizing. What is going on? Oh, you can see this. It's happening live. The finger to the primer just crashed. Just that simple. There's nothing else I could have did. It just completely crashed. What garbage is that? And look, the finger just fell off. So, when people say, like, this is your fault, you know, you're not doing something right. No, it's actually not. It's just complete garbage. You just witnessed it. It just broke another finger off. God, this just pisses me off. So, there goes another one. You know, I'll spend the next 5 minutes pulling this piece off, taking the spring off, sliding it out, you know, putting a new one on. I think I've got maybe 1 or 2 left, which really just kind of pisses me off. But I've been sizing the small ones. I've got a reamer that will put it to the perfect size. And I taper it, you know, and also I file. The edges are a little bit rough. This one here you can see is already filed off. There's a little bit of flashing on the edges, just poor fit and finish, really. So, but the press itself is awesome. It's so smooth, you know, for loading things, except for that primer system. What garbage. So anyway, I didn't even get 1 round down. Go figure, you know. But anyway, it's normally an awesome press. Excellent idea. This here, you know, I keep my powder and everything set. As you can see on these two, you know, it's ready to lock and load. The stupid primer system. So anyway, guys, I'm going to change out this primer slide and see if I can get this press back up and going. Thanks.